Success doesn't sleep. Right now, while most of the world rests in comfort, a select few are pushing their limits, stretching their capabilities, and redefining what's possible. They're in gyms, libraries, offices, and workshops not because they have to be, but because they've made a decision that average isn't enough. These rare individuals understand a fundamental truth: that most will never grasp greatness isn't given, it's earned through relentless effort. The room falls silent. Your heart beats a little faster. Because deep down, you know I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking about you. About the war raging inside you right now. The battle between who you are and who you could be. Between what you've done and what you're capable of doing. Every breath you take right now is a choice. Each heartbeat is a reminder that time is passing. Not slowly, not gently, but with the furious pace of a life that won't wait for you to get ready. While you sit there contemplating whether to take action, someone else is already in motion. While you wonder if you're good enough, someone else is becoming better. While you wait for the perfect moment, someone else is creating it. You feel that tension in your chest? That's not anxiety, that's not fear. That's your potential screaming to be released. Every single one of us carries within us a force so powerful it could light up a city. But most people will live their entire lives without ever accessing it. Why? Because accessing it requires something that most aren't willing to give everything. Let's be brutally honest for a moment. Your current results are not an accident. They're not a coincidence. They're not bad luck. They're a perfect reflection of your current level of commitment. If you don't like what you see in the mirror of your life, there's only one solution: you need to outwork everyone. Not some people, not most people, everyone. The mediocre majority will tell you this is extreme. They'll say you need balance. They'll warn you about burnout. But here's what they won't tell you: they're scared. Scared of finding out what they're truly capable of. Scared of discovering that their limitations were self-imposed. Scared of realizing that they've been hiding behind excuses instead of standing behind results. You see, we're living in an age where everyone wants microwave success in a crock-pot world. They want the body without the struggle, the skills without the practice, the victory without the battle, the crown without the cross. But life doesn't work that way. Never has, never will. Every great achievement in human history was built on the foundation of exceptional effort. Not good effort, not great effort. Exceptional effort. The kind of effort that makes ordinary people uncomfortable. The kind that makes average people question your sanity. The kind that makes the mediocre majority label you as obsessed. But let me tell you something about being obsessed. Obsession is just dedication that makes average people uncomfortable. And you need to get comfortable with making average people uncomfortable. Because if your dreams don't scare others, they're not big enough. If your work ethic doesn't make others question your sanity, it's not strong enough. If your goals don't make others uncomfortable, they're not bold enough. Success leaves clues. And if you study the lives of those who've achieved extraordinary things, you'll find one common thread: they outworked everyone around them. They didn't just work hard when they felt like it. They didn't just push when it was convenient. They made working hard their standard. They made pushing beyond limits their norm. They made excellence their habit. But let me be clear about something. This isn't about burning yourself out. This isn't about destroying your health or your relationships. This is about maximizing every moment you have. It's about understanding that while others waste time, you invest it. While others kill time, you make it multiply. While others count the hours, you make the hours count. Think about water for a moment. At 211 degrees, it's hot, very hot. But at 212 degrees, something magical happens. It boils. It creates steam. And steam can power a locomotive. 1 degree makes the difference between hot water and a force powerful enough to drive a train. That 1 degree is what we're talking about here. It's that extra effort when you're already giving your all. It's that extra rep when your muscles are screaming. It's that extra hour when your mind is begging for rest. You see, the gap between average and exceptional isn't talent. It's not luck. It's not circumstances. The gap between average and exceptional is effort. Pure, unrelenting, bone-crushing effort. The kind of effort that makes you question everything you thought you knew about your limits. The kind that introduces you to a version of yourself you never knew existed. But here's the beautiful thing about effort: it's democratic. It doesn't care about your background. It doesn't care about your education. It doesn't care about your past failures or successes. Effort only cares about one thing: are you willing to give everything you've got? Not just today, not just this week, but every single day, every single week, until you become what you were meant to be. Your potential is like a seed planted in the soil of your soul. But potential alone is not enough. Seeds don't grow without water, sunlight, and nutrients. Your dreams won't materialize without sweat, sacrifice, and relentless effort. Every drop of sweat you produce is water for your seed of greatness. Every sacrifice you make is sunlight for your potential. Every extra hour you put in is nutrients for your dreams. Most people live their entire lives in the shallow end of their potential. They wade in the safe waters of mediocrity, never venturing into the deep where greatness lies. They convince themselves that the shallow end is enough. That playing it safe is smart. That average is acceptable. But you're not most people. Not anymore. The greatest tragedy in life isn't death. It's living with the death of your potential still inside you. It's reaching the end of your journey and realizing you never truly began. It's looking back on your life and seeing a graveyard of opportunities you were too afraid to take, dreams you were too comfortable to chase, and potential you were too lazy to unlock. Let me tell you something that might shock you. Your comfort zone is your danger zone. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing death over life. Not physical death, but the death of your possibilities. The death of your potential. The death of everything you could have been but were too afraid to become. The world is filled with people who are waiting. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for perfect conditions. Waiting for permission. Waiting for validation. But success isn't found in waiting. It's found in working. While others wait for their ship to come in, exceptional people are swimming out to meet it. Your life right now, every aspect of it is giving you exactly what you've earned. Not what you desire. Not what you deserve. Not what you're capable of. What you've earned. And if there's a gap between what you have and what you want, that gap can only be filled with one thing: work. Not wishes. Not hopes. Not dreams. Work. But here's where most people get it wrong. They work hard for a day, a week, maybe even a month. Then they look for results. When they don't see immediate success, they quit. They don't understand that success is like an iceberg. What people see, the success, the achievements, the results, is just the tip. What they don't see is the massive foundation beneath the surface. The countless hours of work. The endless repetitions. The relentless persistence. Every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once a beginner. Every success story was once a struggle story. The difference, they outworked everyone around them. They understood that talent without work is like having a powerful engine but no fuel. Potential without effort is like having wings but never learning to fly. Think about your heroes for a moment. The people you admire. The ones who've achieved what you dream of achieving. Now let me tell you something about them. They're not special. They're not gifted. They're not lucky. They just outworked everyone else. While others slept, they sweat. While others complained, they competed. While others made excuses, they made progress. But outworking everyone isn't just about putting in more hours. It's about putting more into your hours. It's about approaching every task, every challenge, every opportunity with the intensity of someone who knows that greatness is found in the details. Someone who understands that excellence isn't an act, but a habit. Your habits are the building blocks of your destiny. Every day with every decision, you're either building a bridge to your dreams or a barrier to your potential. When you choose to hit the snooze button, you're laying a brick in the wall that separates you from success. When you choose to watch another episode, instead of working on your goals, you're adding another layer to that wall. But when you choose to outwork everyone, something magical happens. The wall starts to crumble. The barriers begin to fall. The limitations you once accepted as truth reveal themselves as lies. You discover that your only real limits were the ones you placed on yourself. The human spirit has an infinite capacity for growth. Your brain can form new neural pathways until the day you die. Your muscles can get stronger at any age. Your skills can improve with every repetition. The only thing standing between you and extraordinary achievement is extraordinary effort. Think about this. Every day you make thousands of decisions. What time to wake up? What to eat? How to spend your time? What to focus on? Each decision seems small in the moment. But decisions are like drops of water. One drop might seem insignificant, but enough drops can create an ocean. Enough drops can carve through rock. Enough drops can shape the world. Your decisions to outwork everyone are those drops. Each extra rep, each extra hour, each extra effort might seem small in the moment, but compound them over time and they become an unstoppable force. They become the difference between average and exceptional, between ordinary and extraordinary, between settling and soaring. But let me warn you about something. When you commit to outworking everyone, you'll face resistance. Not just from the outside world, but from within yourself. Your mind will create elaborate excuses. Your body will beg for comfort. Your old habits will try to pull you back to mediocrity. This is where mental toughness becomes crucial. Mental toughness isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about looking in the mirror and acknowledging the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's about understanding that this gap can only be bridged by consistent, persistent, relentless effort. The path of outworking everyone is not for the faint of heart. It's not for those who need constant validation. It's not for those who want overnight success. It's for those who understand that greatness is a process, not an event. It's for those who are willing to trade short-term comfort for long-term achievement. It's for those who are ready to stop making excuses and start making history. There's something extraordinary happening in your spirit right now. A shift is taking place. A revolution is brewing. Your soul is awakening to a truth it's always known, but has been too embraced. You were born for excellence, not mediocrity, not average. Excellence. But excellence has a price. It demands everything you've got, and then it demands more. It requires you to divorce yourself from excuses, to end your relationship with mediocrity, to break up with good enough, because good enough isn't good enough anymore. Not for you. Not now. Not ever again. Let me share a truth that most motivational speakers won't tell you. Inspiration without action is just emotional entertainment. That fire you feel in your chest right now, it's worthless unless you transform it into fuel for action. Those dreams that are stirring in your heart, they're meaningless unless you're willing to wake up early, stay up late, and outwork everyone to make them reality. You see, everyone wants to be successful until they see what it actually takes. They love the idea of success, but they're not in love with the process. They want the rewards, but not the responsibility. They want the crown, but not the cross. They want the victory, but not the battle. But you're different. Starting today, you're making a declaration. Not to the world, but to yourself. A declaration that mediocrity is no longer an option. That average is no longer acceptable. That good enough is no longer good enough. Think about the human body for a moment. When you exercise, your muscles experience micro tears. It's in the healing of these tears that your muscles grow stronger. Success works the same way. Every time you push past your limits, you create micro tears in your comfort zone. Every time you outwork everyone around you, you heal stronger. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow more powerful. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think outworking everyone means working themselves to exhaustion. They confuse activity with productivity, movement with progress. But true productivity isn't about doing more things, it's about doing the right things with unmatched intensity. When you commit to outworking everyone, your relationship with time changes fundamentally. You stop seeing time as something to spend and start seeing it as something to invest. Every minute becomes a seed that can grow into greatness. Every hour becomes an opportunity to separate yourself from the pack. The average person lives with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. They want success, but they're afraid of going too fast. They want growth, but they're afraid of growing too much. They want achievement, but they're afraid of achieving too much. Remove your foot from the brake. Stop limiting yourself. Stop holding yourself back. Stop playing small. Your potential is like a sleeping giant. Every time you choose comfort over growth, that giant slumbers deeper. Every time you choose easy over right, that giant grows weaker. But every time you choose to outwork everyone, that giant stirs. Every time you push past your limits, that giant awakens. Every time you choose excellence over excuse, that giant rises. Let me tell you about the compound effect of outworking everyone. Small daily advantages compounded over time create massive differences in results. 1 extra hour per day might not seem like much, but 1 extra hour every day for a year. That's 365 extra hours. That's 15 extra days of work while everyone else is sleeping. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. But it's not just about the quantity of time, it's about the quality of effort within that time. When you're truly outworking everyone, you're not just putting in more hours, you're putting in more focus, more intensity, more purpose into each hour. You're not just going through the motions, you're making every motion count. The world tries to convince you that balance is the key to success. But let me tell you something, balance is a myth perpetuated by mediocrity. The truly successful aren't balanced, they're focused. They're not well-rounded, they're purposefully imbalanced in the direction of their dreams. Think about a laser beam. What makes it so powerful? Focus, concentration, intensity. A light bulb disperses energy in all directions, but a laser concentrates it into one powerful beam that can cut through steel. Your effort needs to be like that, laser focused, concentrated, intense. When you outwork everyone, you develop what I call the warrior mindset. Warriors don't negotiate with weakness. They don't compromise with comfort. They don't bargain with mediocrity. They push through. They break through. They break through. Your mind will try to protect you from discomfort. It will create the most elaborate excuses. It will find the most convincing reasons to stop. And this is where most people fail. They listen to these excuses. They believe these reasons. They allow their mind's desire for comfort to override their soul's desire for greatness. But comfort is the enemy of achievement. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing mediocrity over excellence. Every time you choose the easy path over the right path, you're choosing ordinary over extraordinary. Every time you choose to stay in your comfort zone, you're choosing to stay in your failure zone. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. The discomfort of pushing yourself weighs ounces, but the discomfort of knowing you could have been more weighs tons. The burden of hard work weighs ounces, but the burden of unfulfilled potential weighs tons. You see, when you commit to outworking everyone, something remarkable happens. The voice that used to say, I can't, becomes quieter. The voice that used to say it's too hard becomes weaker. And a new voice emerges. A voice of power. A voice of possibility. A voice that knows with unshakable certainty that you were born for more than average. The room pulses with energy right now. Hearts are beating faster. Minds are opening wider. Souls are awakening deeper. But let me tell you something crucial. This moment means nothing unless you're ready to translate it into momentum. Unless you're prepared to transform this energy into action. Unless you're willing to turn this inspiration into implementation. Your life exists in two realms, the realm of possibility and the realm of reality. The gap between these realms can only be bridged by one thing: work. Not ordinary work, not casual work, not comfortable work. The kind of work that makes average people uncomfortable. The kind that makes mediocre people nervous. The kind that makes the majority question your sanity. But here's what they don't understand: sanity is overrated when you're in pursuit of greatness. Normal is the enemy when you're chasing extraordinary. Average is the obstacle when you're pursuing excellence. You need to be crazy enough to believe in your dreams and disciplined enough to work for them. Let me tell you about the power of accumulated effort. Every day you make hundreds of tiny decisions. Each one seems insignificant in the moment. But these decisions are like drops of water falling on a rock. One drop doesn't make a difference. 1,000 drops barely leave a mark. But consistent drops falling day after day, year after year, can split a mountain. That's what outworking everyone looks like. It's not about one massive effort. It's about consistent, persistent, relentless effort. It's about showing up when others give up. It's about pushing forward when others pull back. It's about advancing when others retreat. Your future is being written right now in the decisions you make about how to spend the next hour, the next minute, the next moment. Every time you choose work over comfort, you're writing a page of success. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're writing a chapter of achievement. Every time you choose excellence over excuses, you're writing a volume of greatness. But let me be crystal clear about something: outworking everyone doesn't mean overwhelming yourself. It doesn't mean burning yourself out. It means being more focused than everyone, more intentional than everyone, more committed than everyone. It means making every moment count, every effort matter, every action aligned with your ultimate vision. Think about a master sculptor working with marble. They don't just randomly chip away at the stone. Every strike of the chisel is purposeful. Every movement is intentional. Every action is part of a greater vision. That's how you need to approach your work. Every effort should be purposeful. Every action should be intentional. Every moment should be part of your greater vision. The world is full of people who are willing to work hard when they feel like it, when conditions are perfect, when motivation is high. But true success, the kind that rewrites history and redefines possibility, comes from working hard even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Your feelings are not your master. Your emotions are not your guide. Your purpose is your master. Your vision is your guide. When you're tired, your purpose energizes you. When you're discouraged, your vision sustains you. When you're tempted to quit, your commitment carries you. Most people live in the realm of intention. They intend to work harder. They intend to do better. They intend to make changes. But intention without action is just wishful thinking. Dreams without work are just fantasies. Goals without effort are just empty words on paper. You must understand something profound. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. Success is not an event, but a process. Greatness is not a destination, but a journey. And on this journey, there are no shortcuts, no elevators, no escalators. There's only the stairs. One step at a time, one effort at a time, one day at a time. The pain you feel when you're pushing beyond your limits, that's not pain, that's growth happening. The discomfort you experience when you're working while others are resting. That's not discomfort, that's transformation taking place. The resistance you face when you're advancing while others are retreating. That's not resistance, that's strength being forged. Let me tell you about the power of compound effort. When you consistently outwork everyone, you're not just adding to your capabilities, you're multiplying them. You're not just improving, you're evolving. You're not just getting better, you're becoming different. The gap between you and average isn't growing linearly, it's growing exponentially. Your potential is like a dormant volcano. It might appear peaceful on the surface, but beneath that surface lies immense power. Every time you choose to outwork everyone, you're stoking the fires of that volcano. Every time you push past your limits, the pressure builds. Every time you choose excellence over comfort, you move closer to eruption. But here's what most people don't understand about eruptions. They seem sudden to observers, but they're actually the result of consistent pressure built up over time. Your success will appear the same way to others. They'll call it luck. They'll call it overnight success. They'll call it natural talent. But you'll know the truth. You'll know about the countless hours when no one was watching. The endless repetitions when no one was counting. The relentless effort when no one was cheering. The world will try to distract you. It will offer you comfort instead of growth, entertainment instead of education, pleasure instead of progress. But you must remember, what you do in your leisure time determines what you'll be doing for the rest of your time. The choices you make when no one is watching determine what people will see when everyone is watching. The moment of truth has arrived. Everything you've heard today, every word that has stirred your soul, every truth that has awakened your spirit, it all comes down to this moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. This moment. The world doesn't reward people who know what to do. It rewards people who do what they know. Knowledge without action is like having a map but never taking the journey. Inspiration without implementation is like having wings but never leaving the ground. Understanding without execution is like having a key but never opening the door. Your life is speaking to you right now through your heartbeat, through your breath, through that fire in your chest that's growing stronger with each passing moment. It's telling you something profound. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your opportunity to step out of the shadow of average and into the light of excellence. But let me tell you something crucial about this moment. It's not special because of what you feel. It's special because of what you're about to do. Feelings fade. Emotions change. Motivation comes and goes. But discipline, raw, unrelenting discipline, that's what carries you through when feelings fail. The world is filled with motivated people who never achieve anything significant. It's filled with inspired people who never create anything meaningful. It's filled with passionate people who never accomplish anything remarkable. Why? Because they depend on motivation instead of discipline. They rely on inspiration instead of implementation. They count on passion instead of persistence. When you commit to outworking everyone, you enter a different dimension of existence. You stop living by the rules of average. You stop playing by the standards of mediocrity. You stop operating by the limitations of normal. You create your own rules. You set your own standards. You define your own limitations. Think about water again. When it's cold enough, water becomes ice solid, rigid, unmovable. When it's hot enough, water becomes steam powerful enough to drive engines, move mountains, change landscapes. Your effort is like that water. Average effort keeps you in a liquid state, flowing wherever life takes you. But extreme effort, that transforms you into steam powerful, unstoppable, transformative. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your efforts, not sometimes. Not usually, always, every single time. Without exception. When you truly understand this, procrastination becomes impossible. excuses become intolerable. Mediocrity becomes unbearable. Your potential is not a gentle suggestion. It's not a polite request. It's a screaming demand for excellence. Every time you settle for less than your best, you silence that scream. Every time you accept average, you suppress that demand. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you deny that calling. But starting today, that changes. Starting today, you become deaf to the voice of comfort and blind to the path of least resistance. Starting today, you develop what I call the excellence addiction. Like any addiction, it will consume you. Unlike other addictions, it will elevate you. Most people live their lives like they're renting them from someone else. They're careful not to push too hard. Careful not to dream too big. Careful not to work too much. But you're not renting this life, you own it. Every moment, every opportunity, every possibility, it all belongs to you. The price of greatness is paid in full, in advance, with no guarantee of success. You must be willing to work harder than everyone else, with no promise that it will pay off. You must be willing to push further than everyone else, with no assurance that you'll reach your destination. You must be willing to sacrifice more than everyone else, with no certainty that your sacrifices will be rewarded. But here's the beautiful paradox: when you're willing to pay that price without guarantee, the guarantee becomes unnecessary. When you're willing to do the work without promise of success, success becomes inevitable. When you're willing to give everything without certainty of reward, the reward becomes automatic. Your life is like a book. Every day is a new page. Every effort is a new word. Every decision is a new sentence. The question isn't whether you're writing your story, you're writing it right now with every breath, every choice, every action.